BC15 weather with Chief Meteorologist Alan Sealls, certified most accurate forecast by Weather Rate.
Tropical Storm Elsa continues to move northwestward just off the southern coast of Cuba. Maximum wind 60 miles an hour, gusting to 70. It's going to be a tricky forecast for when it might make landfall in Cuba and how strong it will be at that point, and more importantly for us, how strong it will be after it gets out of Cuba. Notice the forecast cone. It's basically the same as it's been the last couple of days, although it's a little more focused on the eastern Gulf of Mexico, still as a tropical storm between late tomorrow going into Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, coming close enough to us that rain could be a concern more so than a direct strike, but still we watch carefully, as certainly does central and southern Florida. The west coast of Florida from Tampa southward. Tropical storm watch, meaning watch for winds over 40 miles an hour within 2 days. Tropical storm warning for the Florida Keys, where you're certainly going to see winds over 40 miles an hour. Also for the west central coast of the Florida peninsula, a storm surge watch, and that means watch for surge that can be 2 to 4 feet. Notice that's centered on Tampa Bay, but north and south of that area, you could see water being pushed up against the coastline. Stay updated, that may be upgraded to a warning. That same area is where you're most likely to get the heavier rain, that bright red band you see along the west coast of Florida. In the next 3 days, that will be 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. The system will be a steady mover, so right now rain doesn't look to be extreme. Remember, there are a lot of variables here. We're talking about wind number one. These are the current winds near the surface of the ocean. Go up about 3 miles, and you don't really see a lot of steering wind here, unlike when you expect to see wind pushing it along. Even 6 miles above the ground, you still don't see a strong steering wind, but the overall motion is toward the northwest. Here's the issue with forecasting weather. Computer models have to synthesize all of that data and project it forward, and that is not an easy task. From this evening and tonight, as this system crosses Cuba, remember, Cuba has mountains. Tropical storms, hurricanes, they don't like mountains because it disrupts the flow of air in the system. But something else happens, and that is as the wind blows up against the mountains, it rises. As it rises, the air cools, it condenses more rain, so you get more rain and flood threat on the windward side of mountains than you do on the leeward side. The problem is when a storm moves along an island, the windward and leeward shift as it moves across the island. So either way, the mountains of Cuba could see 15 inches of rain. It is warm enough certainly to support a tropical storm or hurricane. The warm water alone doesn't make a storm, but focus on this one projection. And these are wind speeds by Monday midday, where you see green, that's 20 miles an hour, yellow is 30 miles an hour, red is 40. And what it shows is by Tuesday, tropical storm force winds certainly off the west coast of Florida. This particular system puts it more to the west in the Gulf of Mexico. And many models are now doing this. Some are not strengthening it, which is a good thing, but either way, it is the mystery of what's going to be going on along the coast of Florida. Tropical storm force winds offshore without a doubt. Onshore, these steady winds, you could almost double them to see what kind of wind gusts you're going to get. Now remember, that's based on today's data. The data will change tomorrow, and so will the projection. Here's the bigger picture, though, of that same projection. It shows the circulation getting into the eastern Gulf of Mexico and then basically moving due north. And in some cases, some models totally dissipate this system before it gets to the northern Gulf. Others do not. Others hook it right back into Florida, and that's why that forecast cone has width. This is what we have for the rest of this afternoon. Scattered thunderstorms mostly for our inland counties. Now these are going to persist this evening, so again, be really careful as you're out for fireworks. Here's your 7-day tracker. Regardless of Elsa, we're going to get wetter. 60% coverage for tomorrow, 70% for Tuesday and Wednesday, and only easing down by next weekend.